It's that time of year again, hockey season, the one sport in the world where they had to specifically ban players from licking other people. And you might not know what it's going to be like going into this year, so we at NUTV Sports have given some time, countless seconds, to research what the teams look like going into the year.
The Blue Jackets are embracing the rebuild after most of their good players decided to leave over the last few years. While they were able to replace the coach who alienated many of those star players, they have not been able to fix their biggest personnel problem. Nobody wants to live in Ohio.
Carolina played incredible last year until they got absolutely smacked around by Tampa Bay in the playoffs. Carolina's offseason was poor, but their best bet this year is to rely on the Stars and hope that Tampa just dies in the process.
Coming off of a very disappointing season, the Devils have a strong case for being the most improved team this offseason. While a playoff appearance isn't a guarantee due to their difficult division, their revamped decor, new backup goaltender, and developing young forwards seem to have addressed many of their issues. It appears their biggest problem at this point is their starting goaltender, Mackenzie Blackwood, who has become so skilled at denying shots that he has refused to get his COVID vaccine.
For the New York Islanders, with Lou Lamoriello adding Zach Parise to his already impressive collection of New Jersey Devils from the 2010s, the Islanders look to take a step forward after losing in the conference finals 2 years in a row. This is a very smart plan. If there's one team that others should look to as a model of success, it's the New Jersey Devils from the 2010s.
Tom Wilson is now the general manager of the New York Rangers. Every move the Rangers have made this offseason all leads back to Tom Wilson. It's okay though. At least they got Ryan Reeves to fight him. What's that? Oh, never mind. Reeves just got a serious knee injury in preseason. All hope is lost. This team is doomed.
The Flyers had the worst and the third worst goalies in the league last year by goals saved above expected. They fixed this by replacing one with the second worst goalie in the league last year. If Carter Hart doesn't have a huge bounce back, this might be a long season for Philly, or more realistically, a short one.
The Penguins have been incredibly successful throughout the Crosby-Malkin era, with both expected to miss time due to injuries to start the season, and their division being one of the most difficult in the league. The question is if there's enough talent without their two stars to maintain their 15-year postseason streak.
The Capitals really didn't do anything exciting this offseason, but they'll still probably make the playoffs. Most people are focused on the Ovechkin goal race at this point anyway.
Is it even fair to say the Sabres are still in a rebuild at this point? There's only so much you could blow up before blowing it up again doesn't really change anything.
The Bruins seem consistently one step away from being Cup caliber. With an offseason that saw some nice additions, but the massive loss of David Krejci, that may not be changing anytime soon.
The Florida Panthers had a real breakout year last year and are looking to keep up the success. They are maintaining one of the best squads in the league that is heavily hampered by shaky goaltending.
The Detroit Red Wings suck.
The Senators showed some promise last year after a horrid start. They're still developing players and will be bottom dwellers. Brady Tkachuk is fun though. Hope they pay him.
The Canadiens enjoyed a fantastic season, storming all the way through to the Stanley Cup and promptly getting struck by lightning. Second place, not bad. They're expected to crash down to be a 500 team this year though.
The Toronto Maple Leafs are the walking embodiment of Murphy's Law. This team somehow finds a new, even more heartbreaking way to lose every year. It's unlikely it'll change this time around, and I love it.
The back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Lightning somehow survived the offseason without losing too many major pieces, yet again. Are they trying to copy the Huskies by three-peating? Almost definitely.
Chicago landed Marc-Andre Fleury this offseason, somehow. They've improved a lot on a bad team, but it's not clear if they can be better than average this year. Fleury could carry them to some wins though.
The Coyotes brought back the Kachina logo full-time, which basically means they've already won the Cup. Other teams should simply give up and let them have it.
As for the Dallas Stars, Braden Holtby.
The Avalanche have been the class of the NHL for several seasons now. They're expected to remain elite this year with another shot at the Cup. Count on their superstars and their great depth, and keep an eye out for their new acquisition, Darcy Kemper, between the pipes.
The Predators are in a weird spot. Their point total and a second place finish in their division last year don't suggest an awful team, but most Preds fans will tell you that last year was a disappointment. There's about a 50-50 shot this team either takes the next step up or completely falls apart.
The Wild took a big step forward last year and have become a surprisingly fun squad. Kirill Kaprizov is their budding superstar, and he looks to be the star of this strong, deep team.
The Jets are cool. I like the Jets, I guess. I just wish the Jets would do something with their talent. Unfortunately, they're incredibly top-heavy, and their success, as always, will hinge upon the play of their top six.
The Blues were sneaky good last year and should definitely not be slept on this year. They played as well as they did last year without their star player, Tarasenko, and should also be getting him back at some point this season.
The Fiery Boys are one of the hardest teams to predict this year. I mean, hell, they were one of the hardest teams to predict last year, too. They could be first. They could be last. Calgary may just stop existing. Maybe it already has. Who knows?
The Ducks are firmly in rebuild mode. They should switch back to the batshit crazy Wild Wing jersey so we at least have something fun to look at in the meantime.
The Kings got a great double whammy of not only sucking hard, but being old as hell. I'm not sure if there's much upside for them this year, and they may spiral even further.
The Oilers are a great team because of Connor McDavid. They need to start finding success or else there will be a lot of questions. They have surrounded him and fellow star Leon Draisaitl with one of their strongest rosters this year, and they will have a great offense and high expectations.
Does lightning strike twice? Will the Kraken emulate the crazy success of the previous NHL expansion franchise, Vegas, that they had in their first year? Or will they prove that picking a billion defensemen, none of who were that good, may not have been advisable?
The San Jose Sharks, or should I say Evander Kane. What are you doing, man? Let's hope the Sharks can get rid of him before the end of the season.
Vegas' only major loss this year was reigning Vezina winner Marc-Andre Fleury. While that may sound bad, their hope is that added forward depth, coupled with strong play from their remaining goaltender Robin Lehner, is enough to keep them from being upset by a weaker opponent in the conference finals for a third year in a row.
The Vancouver Canucks are super young and super fun to watch. They probably won't be very good this year, but the future is promising, except for the fact that they lost Gaudette.
And those were the official NUTV Sports predictions for the NHL season coming up. What do you think? Were there any you disagree with? I don't care. Don't try and talk to me. Your opinion is worthless to me.
I was in advanced reading in middle school, guys. I can do this.
You actually?